Hi, I'm Lucy Marvellous from Fresher Bites. Today I'm going to talk to you about which equipment you really need to cook the recipes in my booklet and a few extra things that will make cooking a lot easier. First of all, you need some soap. It's really important to make sure that your hands are clean before you start cooking. A sharp knife. It can be a cheap knife as long as it's sharp, and to make sure that it's sharp, get yourself a knife sharpener. These are £5 or £6, but a lot cheaper than losing a finger. A chopping board to protect the surfaces that you chop on. Again, very cheap, flimsy one. I like these for tipping things off into pots. Kitchen scissors, really easy to snip up herbs, bacon, spring onions, a lot easier than wrestling with a knife. Vegetable peeler. A vegetable peeler is a lot quicker to use, easier, and leaves more of the nutrients that you need on the vegetable than paring off a lot of skin with a knife. Spoon for stirring, stirring in a saucepan, stirring in a bowl. That's a good spoon. 99p. Spatula, very good for getting the last out of a bowl. A good tin opener. Don't waste your money on a cheap one. This was about £5 from IKEA. I can't tell you how many cheap tin openers I've had to throw away because they just stopped working. Measuring spoons. You will be using a tablespoon and a teaspoon. So you don't need a fancy set of measuring spoons as long as you've got a tablespoon and a teaspoon. Watch my film on measuring and weighing for some tips on that. A mixing bowl. You could use a saucepan most of the time, but recipes like the carbonara, you'll have some things in the bowl while your pasta's cooking in the pan, so you will need a bowl as well. Measuring jug. You need to be able to measure accurately the amount of liquid that you put into the recipes, so you need a measuring jug. A saucepan. A 23cm saucepan is great. You could also use this as a frying pan. Make sure you've got a lid. Weighing scales. For some of the recipes you'll need to weigh your items. As you get used to cooking you won't have to weigh anywhere near as much, but to start with, some weighing scales. Again, very cheap. Digital scales are nice and easy and don't take up too much room. A baking tray. If you're only going to have one, you might as well have a big one. You can put something small on a big tray, you can't put something big on a small tray. This is ideal for your roast Mediterranean vegetables, fish in foil, things like that. A frying pan. I would like you to have a frying pan that can go in the oven, because then you can make a pie without having to transfer, and that's less washing up. I'm not keen on washing up. This one is cast iron, so it has a metal handle that can go in the oven. Be very careful when taking it out of the oven, that will be very hot. This Tefal Ingenio, you can start making your pie filling on the hob and then detach the handle and pop it in the oven. Very handy. A grater with a box. It doubles as a small bowl, really useful for mixing small items in, and also makes it a lot easier when you're grating, keep everything together. The one at IKEA comes with a fine grater as well, which is great for parmesan. Something to put pies in if you're not cooking them in a frying pan. You could have a glass dish like this one, but that takes quite a while to heat, so it'll actually take a little longer. I use these foil trays. Most of my recipes will make 4 portions, 4 foil trays. One you can eat now, one for tomorrow, 2 for the fridge or freezer. These are thin, easy to reheat, and also you can just bin them, no washing up. And now for some items that you don't absolutely need, but they do make things a little easier. Things like a rolling pin. If you're going to roll out pastry or pizza dough, rolling pin's easier. They're only 99p from a supermarket, but if you don't have one, you could use a bottle as long as it hasn't got too many indentations on it. A hand blender. If you're going to make soup and you want it to be smooth, hand blender's brilliant. They also come with a whisk attachment, handy for whisking. A potato masher. Obviously you could use a fork, but if you love mash and you make it often, a potato masher is a nice investment. I like these ones, they're nice and easy to use. Kitchen timer. You can use your phone, of course, but maybe you'll be using your phone for something else. So a kitchen timer can be a handy thing to have so that you can go and get on with whatever else you want to be doing. Oven gloves, you can use tea towels. I like these silicone oven gloves, especially if you've got a cast iron pan. You know that you're not going to burn yourself. Taking things in and out of the oven, a couple of oven gloves are handy. A colander. You can drain things using the side of your pan and the pan lid, but I have a nice silicone colander, which just makes it easier and you lose less down the sink. So these are the things that you definitely need and some of the things that you don't need. Happy cooking! Pop over to Facebook, tell me what you'd like to see me cooking. Show me what you've been cooking, ask me some questions. Be lovely to see you. See you soon.